Welcome back to our new version of Steve, My Car, and I, which is Axed.
We're not in a car?
Well, no, not anymore. We are on a couch.
Well, we're taking you somewhere.
Welcome to episode 1 of CreativiSteve and the Gallardist. Being that guy.
Hello.
Mr. Cotton Jablowski.
Yes. Yeah, so many names.
How long ago was the last one we did?
Almost a full year ago now, actually, if you think about it. Because you left me and went to Vancouver.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, Calgary.
Yes, this is true. I did go. I was gone for a while.
Yeah, you were. It was a sad time. Although we did get to play video games over the headset, and we had a good time whilst you were gone.
This is true.
Yes.
We were still in contact.
We were.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, lots of Red Dead.
Yes,
lots of
Red Dead, Sea of Thieves, things like that. Yes, video games. So basically...
Strange Brigade.
Yeah, Strange Brigade's awesome. So we're back at it.
We are. Back at it.
Back at it.
Like that Daniel guy with those white shoes.
Daniel with the white shoes?
Damn, Daniel, again with the white shoes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Fine.
Well, you can explain if you want.
It was just like some dude in high school, apparently. He always had like these really nice white Adidas or Nikes. I don't know. But this guy always like was like, for I guess an entire year, every time he wore the white shoes, he like pulled out his phone. He's like, "Damn, Daniel, again with the white shoes."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One of those had to be there.
Yeah. I thought everybody was there that year. Apparently not.
Not I, says the pig. Yes, coffee. So cheers to being back.
Cheers to being back.
And this is where everybody turns it off when we actually start the podcast.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So today, January 26th, 2020.
Yep.
Is kind of a rough day. The world lost somebody pretty incredible. Kobe Bryant and his daughter. So sad to see so much potential lost to a horrible accident like that. So today, we've decided that the topic's going to be legends and heroes and all sorts of cool people that we think inspire us and probably inspire a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
Not just in sports, but in any kind of avenue.
Like Achilles.
Achilles?
Yeah. He's a hero and a legend.
That's true. He is a hero and a legend, but does he like really inspire you on a day-to-day basis?
I'd like to think my weakest point is my heel.
Okay. Well, you did break your leg.
I did, yeah.
So
yeah, but I was out snowboarding today at Big White. Hashtag Big White. Amazing today.
Big White. Champagne powder.
It really was today. Actually, it was a really great day. I was on the chairlift with my other friend Steve, not this Steve. Skier Steve.
Skier Steve.
Oh
yeah, Skier Steve. You told me about Skier Steve.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. He and I were on the chairlift, and some blokes beside us. I call them blokes because they're Australian. They are. Yes, they were talking about it. I just overheard. They're like, "Oh man, he was 41, died in a helicopter crash, blah 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 blah." And I like leaned over. I'm like, "Who are you talking about?" They're like, Kobe Bryant. I was like, "What? He died today?" Yeah.
Completely thrown off guard, man.
Well, Skier Steve had to pull out his phone and like he searched it himself. He's like, "Holy shit, they're not lying. Like this is true."
You look at it, like I've been watching like clips and highlights and stuff today, where it's like there's games today. So imagine being like a player, like one of those younger guys who grew up watching Kobe, and the whole reason you get into that, and then right before you start playing, you find out that your hero and probably friend, these guys, like one of your best friends, dies, and then you have to go out there and play. Like that's crazy. Kobe was a huge one for me. He was like, because I was living in Los Angeles when they were winning all the championships and stuff. So when I was like from 9 years old to like 13 years old, they're just winning all the time, and I watched all the championships, and you know, just like playing the video games, like NBA courtside, Kobe
Right?
Bryant
Oh,
courtside, which
man.
is one of the best basketball games ever. And then, you know, it's just you're surrounded by it on the daily. Huge Laker fan. And so today it kind of hit me out at first, like the first like 10 minutes, I was just like, no, no way.
Yeah.
And then it hit me. I was just like, all day today, I was just in a funk. And I was thinking back to like, it was similar to like when Robin Williams died.
Right? Yeah.
When Robin Williams died, that one hit hard. Because it's like, you're watching these movies and it like,
Yeah.
you grow attached to the characters, but you see him through all these different phases and different kinds of like looks and different emotions and all of these things that he made you feel over the years. And same thing with sports stars, you know, you watch them and they're doing incredible things. Like, you know, they're pulling off these things that people work their entire lives to be able to do. And it's exciting, and then you grow attached and you're cheering for them, you feel like a part of it. And I'll say it, what I figure it's like is like losing an uncle.
Yeah.
Like Robin Williams and Kobe is like these cool uncles that were super funny or super talented, and all of a sudden they're gone, and you feel like you know them even though you didn't really get to be a peer of theirs, but you got to know them through their work. Yeah, and I was trying to think of some other heroes, not necessarily ones who died, but just people who've really been incredible in their stuff, and it's just like, you know, you think of like painters, because I really get into painters, and one of the people is like Van Gogh.
Yeah.
Van Gogh's got a crazy story. Most people know his story because he cut off his ear and he did whatever, he shot himself. But he wasn't like successful or anything when he was alive. He didn't actually start painting till he was 28.
Oh wow!
And
I didn't know that.
He died at 37. So he was really only doing painting and stuff for 9 years.
Yeah.
And he did like almost 1,000 different pieces or something like that. Doug.
This is another inspiration.
Doug is the man.
The man.
The man.
Bye, Doug.
Bye, Doug. There goes Doug.
Yeah. He lives
to
upstairs.
Doug
Cheers
for allowing us in his home.
Yeah,
to do
especially
this.
me. He allowed me to live here.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who does that? But Van Gogh, oh yeah, Van Gogh, the why I brought him up. It's just like, you look at his paintings and you realize it's not so much the painting. Like, I got to see a couple, like, in person, because I got to go to Art Museum in LA, and I saw one, actually here in Kelowna, they had an exhibit that had Van Gogh in it. And you look at it and you're just like, how it just is perfect. And not necessarily perfect in that it looks perfect, but you can just tell the execution of it is just so, from start to finish, he was just in it.
Yeah.
You got into that flow, and you get that creative energy going, and you just don't second guess yourself, and you make it all the way through.
Yeah.
And that's what you get when you look at, or Picasso too, right? And those are just like, and then Warhol as well. Like, you see these big guys, and the thing that they have in common is not the content, but that quality, that execution of what they can do, regardless of what medium they're working in.
Yeah. Yeah, like the whole in it for that period of time.
Mm-hmm. Flow, man. Flow. They talk a lot about that in like Zen Buddhism and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting in that flow.
Don't go with the flow, be the flow.
Yeah, just ride the wave, man. You just get in touch with the present moment right now.
Yep.
And you just ride that wave, and that's, you know, that's what I try to do with my paintings and stuff, you know. You don't think too much about it.
Yeah.
You get that idea, and whatever sparks any kind of interest, you just, okay, that's what I'm doing, and you just start, and you don't even worry about what it's going to be. You just do it, and then when it's done, you finally take a step back, and you kind of get off that wild ride. And I'm sure it's the same with you, with snowboarding and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, exactly. Like with the backyard bowl that I have there.
Oh, yeah, which is sweet.
Like that's been a complete labor of love for me. Just shoveling every time it snows in Kelowna, which doesn't happen very often.
Right.
But
you can check out the pictures on Instagram. We took some the other day.
Yeah.
You can check that out.
At Creativity.
Yeah, on my CreativiSteve page.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on. There's some on there, and then on yours,
At Colton Jobst.
At Colton Jobst. I'll put it in the description underneath the video here.
Yeah.
Also, the Gallardist page.
Yeah.
We should talk about a bit about the Gallardist page. Okay, so the Gallardist page we started, a couple years ago, and we started doing stuff on there to be funny and do jokes and stuff. So there was a few videos and a few things like that.
There was a couple really funny ones.
Yeah. We're going to bring that back.
Yes.
So we're going to tie that all into this as well. It's kind of like a meshing of the Gallardist and CreativiSteve, and this podcast is really to kind of feature that. And to kind of bring into what we're going to be doing with this podcast, we're going to be bringing in other local people who are talented in different kinds of things.
Yep.
And we're going to be talking to them. So since we're not in a car anymore, we can fit more people.
Although we can't go to these places as easily because we're no longer in a car.
Right. But who knows? Maybe we'll end up doing one in the car at some point, because why not?
Yeah.
I think we could.
We easily could.
Yeah.
You still have the car.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Still have the car. So it'll work.
Yeah.
But it's going to be sweet. Like, coming up later this week, we got Deepak, who's got his own podcast.
Deepak?
Yeah, Deepak. Erica's boyfriend.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah. He's got For the Culture Canada, and that's going to be sweet.
Oh, yes. Yes, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah. I was on the 6th episode of his when he first started. And we were talking about how like, well, we'll see how long he lasts. He actually ended up doing the whole friggin' year. And I think I can't remember how many exactly, but he's done like 40 or 50 episodes or something like that. And he's starting up again this year, so yeah, it's pretty sweet.
That is awesome.
So there's all sorts of different talented people that we're going to be talking to and figuring out how they work and things like that, and see their stuff, whatever they want to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, which brings me back to the heroes thing. I was thinking about fictional heroes too. Like, we were talking about Achilles, but one that really has hit me recently, because I've been watching a lot of Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, Captain Benjamin Sisko. Have you ever watched Deep Space Nine?
I have not. No, my pops used to, but I never got into that one.
You've seen Next Generation, though, right? Like, Picard.
Yeah.
Sisko, man, like, I love Picard. I do love Picard. He was like... He's up there for a favorite, but I don't know. Benjamin Sisko is just so
well, he had to be a captain of a literal sinking ship, basically.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, Deep Space Nine was really well written. Like, but the things that he did, though, you look at these fictional characters and what they stand for, and you get to really see them in different ways, rather than like a celebrity hero, where you only see them when they're working. But fictional heroes, you can kind of see them in all sorts of different ways. And it's kind of a conglomeration of all sorts of different kind of heroes that people know in real life. And, it's weird when you think you're a human being and you're just watching a screen that is showing you stories of other human beings, right? And so even though it's fictional, compared to, like, watching basketball...
Yeah.
It's still a screen that you're watching, and this person seems fictional, and this hero that they've created, that they show you in their world of, whatever sport or thing that they're doing, is almost kind of like on the same level of like connectedness that you can get from it. And I just feel like Captain Benjamin Sisko of Deep Space Nine was one of those guys. Like, you felt like you want to be like him.
Yeah.
And I'm 30. He made me feel like I was a little kid. Like, I was just like, I want to grow up to be him.
Yeah.
I am a kid still.
Oh, man, me too, honestly. Yeah, still such a child.
Yeah.
But in a good way. It's like, speaking of heroes and stuff like that, like, I look up to my mom all the time with what she's doing. Like, she's a clown. She's a professional circus clown now. When I was a little kid, she was... my preschool teacher.
Oh yeah,
she was.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, she was a preschool teacher for 4 or 5 years. which was really awesome because then they didn't have to pay for daycare for me. I just came to the preschool and hung out.
Right.
I did 3 years of preschool technically because
not in a bad way.
No,
I didn't fail preschool.
I didn't fail.
I was just there.
Yeah,
for
I
3
was
years.
just there. And then I remember it was so weird of a transition because the year before I was able to call her mom because I technically wasn't a student, and then the next year she's like, "You have to call me Mrs. Jobst." I'm like, "But you're my mom." She's like, "But I'm your actual teacher now." I'm like, "I don't understand." But yeah, after she taught me in preschool, she became a clown, and
Yeah.
for the rest of my life, she's been a clown, and I truly look up to the fact that she's like, just do what you really, really love.
Yeah, especially in a situation like that, man. Like, I'm sure it's hard for a clown.
Yeah, you know, like every couple of years they bring out a new scary clown movie or something like that, and she's like, don't watch it because it makes me look bad.
Yes, they got some of the things right.
Yeah.
We do live in sewers. We do.
We do eat children.
But
We're not aliens from outer space.
that's where we draw the line. That's mime territory.
Yes, mimes are from outer space. They manipulate invisible objects, man.
Yeah, that is kind of scary.
Yeah,
Mimes are freaky.
mimes are freaky. Definitely.
If you were to pick one or a few heroes of like snowboarding, since you do a lot of snowboarding,
Mm-hmm.
was there anybody in particular growing up that you saw and you're like, I really want to do that?
You know, it's funny because for me with snowboarding, my general inspiration came from around the people I rode with. The two guys who really got me into snowboarding, Cody Wasco and James Barry. I used to race motocross with Cody,
Sweet.
and he got me into, like, he was one of my heroes actually for racing bikes. He was
Okay.
a couple years older than me, and such an amazing rider. He still is. He's doing like more freestyle stuff than actual racing. And then when I ended up going to the same school as him when I moved out of Winnipeg, to the outskirts of Winnipeg, I went to the same school as him, and next thing you know, like, this kid that I idolized at the racetrack, who I never talked to, was in the same homeroom class as me, basically, and I started talking to him. We started riding together. We'd go down to the States and race and stuff, and then he was telling me about snowboarding, and it was grade 12 that I went snowboarding. And it's actually really funny. The very first time I ever went snowboarding was with my school for gym class, because you know, small town school, we get to go do interesting things for gym class every once in a while. And the person who technically really got me into snowboarding was my super nerdy friend Adrian Green. Pastiest white dude ever in high school. He was hilarious. Such a good soul. He's so funny. But I remember I was learning how to snowboard, and I'm like doing the crappy falling leaf down the little shoddy hill that Manitoba has.
Yeah.
And here comes this kid who I didn't know could do anything but play video games really well.
Mm-hmm.
Comes snowboarding by, hands in pockets, slashes me with a bunch of snow, and he just like, "Sup, loser, you still learning how to do this?" And he just like rode off, and I'm like, man, he looks so cool doing this. I gotta learn how. So I took the bindings off my dodgy snowboard that I have. I gave it to this dude named Brian Trump. And then literally the next day, James Barry picked me up from my house, drove me over to 204 Skate Shop, and I bought my first snowboard myself.
Decent.
On the way back from 204, it started snowing. And I was like, this is a sign.
Yeah.
Went over to James's house, snowboarded, and just kept riding with James and Cody. And then, yeah, they really pushed me to become a better rider. And then the other two major players in my snowboarding life was my really good friend, he still is my really good friend, Lyndon Novak. Sadly, he lives in Winnipeg still.
Oh, yeah.
Loser. You better watch this. And then his really good friend, Chris Johnson, who sadly took his life 5-6 years ago. Yeah. Actually, this is his hoodie.
Oh.
Yes. And the hat that says ordinary, that's his hat too. But Chris was an amazing snowboarding. Lyndon, super supportive, amazing snowboarder as well. And the four of those guys really were my heroes / idols, and those are the guys who motivated me to
Sweet.
snowboard. They got me into watching the videos, like, you know, yeah, and Jeremy Jones, both of them, it's so funny. There's two Jeremy Joneses who are professional snowboarders. Bizarre.
Yeah.
Both of them, they kind of similarly look alike, but one does urban handrails and big hits and stuff like that, and the other goes to Alaska and hits huge spines.
Crazy.
And
Crazy.
yeah, so totally two different types of disciplines in snowboarding. But yeah, those guys, and like all your big names and stuff like that, they drove me to go snowboarding, and they really, really wanted me to. But it was James, Cody, Lyndon, and Chris who really made me love snowboarding.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's, you know, it could be a grand scale hero, or it could be literally your buddy that just.
Oh, definitely, it can be your buddy or your peers or whatever,
Yeah.
or even like family too. Like you're saying with your mom. Like for me, when I was younger, when I got into music and stuff like that, so many people in my family played music, like or were singers or something like that. And like my aunts and uncles, like my uncle played guitar and my aunts would sing and my mom sang, and my oldest brothers, they started getting into it too. And so there was always music around.
Yeah.
And I would listen to what they listened to. And so their heroes became my heroes. And, you know, I think a lot of people go through that, you know, you listen to what your parents listen to.
Right.
And so.
That's the only reason why I listen to Meatloaf.
Yeah, so, exactly. Right. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Yeah, and so you take on these heroes that your family members have done, and then you start to picture your family members as those heroes too.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, well, they can do anything. They're the ones that are really doing it. And so I played a lot of music and got to meet a lot of different musicians, and I really took on their habits. You know, one thing I've learned a lot of over the years is you take on the habits of the people you really respect.
Mm-hmm.
And they say it's like the 5 people that you have around you the most in your life make up your personality.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, that totally makes sense. I could see that. And so when you're not spending a whole lot of time with other people or having those kind of influences, even if you're not spending time with them, but you're consuming content that they create, you're taking on their personalities, right?
Right.
And nowadays it's like podcasters, right? Like Joe Rogan. Some people listen to Joe Rogan every day, so they start taking on his personality. Or watching Twitch streamers and video game people, you know, and still music stars and all of that kind of thing. You don't see as many like artist icons anymore. Like,
no, true.
Like the most recent, like is Banksy, I would put up there, but nobody knows who he is. So it's like one of those things where it's like you can't really put a face to it, and that kind of sucks. Because it's kind of fun to have those like a face to a hero, you know.
Yeah, true. You know, not everybody could be V for Vendetta. What's that?
V.
Oh yeah, not everybody can be V. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those strange kind of things where it's a human necessity almost that we need some sort of like hero or person to look up to kind of give us some idea of where to go with it. And I was thinking of another fictional one. Marty McFly from Back to the Future.
Right? Oh man.
When I was really young and I first watched it, when he does the Johnny Be Good scene and he plays that and he does like a guitar solo, that's when I knew. I was like, I'm gonna be a guitar player. And so I eventually picked it up. But I still watch that scene all the time. Just like,
well, it's because of him that I make fun of scooters all the time. It's like one of my favorite things to yell at scooter kids. Marty McFly tore that handle off for you to skateboard.
Yeah, exactly.
Good old Marty.
Yeah. No, it's true though. Like those moments, those key moments from like the fictional world can really have an impact on things.
Oh, I'd almost say more so because it allows your creativity or your creative side of your brain, and it influences you so much because you can just use, you can use your own brain to fill in the holes, whereas a real human being,
Right.
they already have their life. Like, this is exactly what happened. Whereas with fictional characters, you and yourself, you can be like, oh, this is how they got to this
your
point.
headcanon of what their life was like before those moments that are captured on film.
Yeah.
Marty McFly was huge. Luke Skywalker.
Right? Oh man, how many people did? Not even just Luke Skywalker, the entirety of that, but like mainly Luke. Like, how many people did he inspire?
Yeah, man. Like, still, Mark Hamill's awesome.
Yeah.
I follow Mark Hamill on his Instagram, and that dude is just so cool all the time.
Right?
And it's just like, and he's done so many voices, and see, that's the thing too. It's like, you see these, going back to real heroes and influential people, you look at somebody like Mark Hamill, he was Luke Skywalker, but he just kept going and branching off into different things, like voice acting. Who would think that?
He's the Joker!
Yeah.
That's the craziest thing.
And he's super good at it.
He's amazing at it.
Yeah, and he's done lots of different voices, and he has his iconic ones, and he does other ones. And it's like he's never limited himself to just...
Yeah.
This is what I do. Right, exactly. Well, I think the people who chase that greatness in everything they do, that execution of everything that they do, it just carries over into every path.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why right now I'm hustling so hard, like, doing a podcast, doing a blog now, a vlog, my Instagram, website, all these different things.
Soon to be fake radio station.
I
have to listen to that actually.
Yeah. We'll get around to that. Yeah, we're doing a new timey radio show. It's called.
Yes.
It should be pretty funny.
It's gonna be really funny.
Yeah, we're still working on it. That we'll see when that. We'll
it's
let you know.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
We'll let you know. But always these different projects on the side. You gotta just branch out and everything, and why not?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, why stop at just one thing? Like, I've always thought about that when I was younger too. It would be like, okay, let's say like one of my first dreams was to become a professional baseball player, play for the Yankees. That did not turn out.
Michael Jordan much?
Oh, I was worse than Michael Jordan.
Fly like an eagle.
Yeah, no, it was bad. So if that would have happened, I was just picturing as a kid. I was just like, okay, I'm a New York Yankee. Now what?
You're right.
Right? It's like, what do you do outside of that? Okay, you accomplished that. And it's like, I just want to do cool things. That's why I never really concerned myself with like, oh, I want to be rich.
No.
Like, having money allows you to do things, but it's like, you still have to figure out what you like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then I realized it didn't take money to do the things that I like to do. Like being a goofball.
Yeah. Being a dirtbag snowboarder.
Yeah, it's 100% free.
Well, this winter has been pretty darn good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, creating things, making things,
doodling.
Like, last night I was out for drinks, and I was doodling on a napkin, and then the waitress was like, oh, you should draw a cow. And so I drew a cow for her, and it was super funny, and named the cow Carlos. And she loved it. So it's like little things like that. That is not money, but it's got its tangible value in that you created a moment.
Yeah.
And you create those moments all the time just by doing, like, putting a little effort in, a little bit of time into something else to give to somebody else.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about, like, writing. Like, I've been doing a lot of writing, so I feel like I have all this information up here. It's not all technically right, but it's all this information, and it can help other people kind of figure out what they're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
And so putting it out there, you're kind of like giving this information away. And hopefully it, like, helps some people, be more creative.
Yeah.
Things like that. Yeah. Heroes and legends, man.
That's why I need to learn how to kickflip on a skateboard. Man, you know how many times?
I've
been skateboarding? People are like, do a kickflip. I'm like, I can hardly ollie. I want to be able to do a kickflip just because it happens to me so bloody much, man. It's ridiculous.
I know. I fell so many times trying to do a kickflip when I was a kid.
Oh, it's so
and then
so
dropping in.
Right.
I just wanted to be able to drop in. And there was this one little space, this parking lot that had this, like, I don't know why it had a slope in a parking lot, but it did.
Just the most obscure,
Yeah.
like, handicap ramp.
Yeah, it was in Pacoima, California, and I think I went skating with my buddy Brett, and we tried it. They were fine because they had done it before at like skate parks and stuff.
Yeah.
But I had just gotten a skateboard, like,
Oh.
and I went and I tried it. Bam! Right on the concrete, and I'm like, never again. I put the skateboard away and I stopped skateboarding. From that point on, I was a skateboard enthusiast
Yeah.
and a fan rather than a skateboarder, because I was just like, I can't do this. I'm going to kill myself somehow. I'm just like, I can't do it.
Well, it's
and I'm top heavy.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. It's like, you know, I like how you said you're a skateboard enthusiast and not a skateboarder, and there's so many people. Like, I just recently started calling myself a snowboarder, whereas before I snowboarded.
Right.
I was getting all right at it. Now I've gotten to the point where I'm like, all right, I am a snowboarder.
Yeah, from what I was watching you do the other day, you're a snowboarder for sure. Like, even just going down the hill, I couldn't do.
A lot of people can't. It's
No.
such a sketchy run.
I would just, I know. Definitely check out the pictures. You'll see what we were talking about.
Yeah. Oh man, I was so sore the next day. So sore.
Oh, I believe it. You went down like 40, 50 times at least.
Yeah. A couple big smashes. But yeah, like, me with skateboarding, I fucking hate that sport so much because I suck at it so much.
Yeah.
And I have been skating for 5 years now, and I skateboard almost more than I snowboard because it's a mode of transportation during the summer, and I suck at it. And I really look at it and go, man, I must really love this sport, because if I was trying anything as hard as I have for 6 years and I have basically gotten nowhere, I would have quit so long ago.
You know, you can thank for that Tony Hawk.
Yes, Tony Hawk, subscribe to us.
Yeah, Tony
Hawk.
Those video games are what made me want to try skating, and it made me feel like I could, because I got pretty good at the game. Well, I got really good at the game, but it made me feel like, oh man, I should really try this.
Yeah.
I was young, stupid, fall, done. But at least I tried it.
Yeah,
right?
At least you did try it. That's a big point.
Yeah. So like Tony Hawk, another hero, man. He even just like to get up there and do what he did, the bravery.
Oh man.
Like dropping from helicopters and no. No
well,
thanks.
I still remember the first time he did the 900 in the half pipe, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. And then what was it, last year during the summer? It was his 40th birthday or 50th birthday.
Yeah,
he did 50 tricks for his 50th birthday, and he ended up doing the 900 still. I'm just like, what? And like one of the other big ones is he did the full loop.
I do a 900 to roll out of bed. That's how I get out.
I do a 180 and hurt my back.
It's and I still fail.
Yeah.
I still fall and I hit myself. Man.
Tony Hawk.
Crazy, man. That guy's nuts. But Bob Burnquist was my favorite, though.
Oh, man, that guy.
Him and Rodney Mullins.
Yes.
Rodney Mullins, those videos on the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games where Rodney Mullins doing the flatland tricks was mind-blowing.
Oh, man. It's still basically irreplicable. That's a word?
Irreplicable?
Yeah, that's a word now. Irreplicable.
Yeah,
it can't be replicated.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's really done it to that extent. The
No.
people are doing some cool stuff.
Yeah.
But the way he did it just like that board was part of him.
Oh, yeah,
like,
definitely. It's crazy.
He would look uncomfortable not being on a board.
Yeah.
That's how good he was at it.
Yeah.
That's the cool stuff. Check out Rodney Mullen old skate videos.
Yeah.
Flatland tricks. Just go to. You're already on YouTube because that's what this video is.
Yep.
But go to the search bar.
After the video.
After the video, not right now. But if you do go right now, I don't blame you because those videos are awesome. Just come back and we'll be waiting for you.
How were those?
Thanks for coming back. And for those of you who didn't leave,
thanks for staying.
Thanks for staying. I hope
You're the best.
I hope we satisfied your craving for skate videos.
Yes.
I'm pushing that out there. Actually, let's bring that up right now. If there's any cool videos of new skaters or snowboarders or something like that, leave them in the comments, because I will definitely check those out, because I love watching those kinds of things.
Well, it's like have I told you about that one channel? I've been actually following these guys for 4 years now. They're called Braille Skateboarding.
Yes, you showed me some videos.
And they do like some of the coolest stuff. Really good skateboarders. You know, they're not Rodney Mullins or Tony Hawks or anything like that, but they're core good skaters. They're like real people going down to the skate park and watching, you know, your locals who are pretty decent skating, and they really inspire. Like, they're the reason why I learned how to ollie a lot better, and just little tiny fiddly bits of skateboarding, and I watched the basics, them every single day. I watched their videos, and that was tough to, like, the first video I saw, I was like, oh, cool, and then I saw that they had like 2 years videos before that, and I'm like, well, starting at square one, and I watched, so I binge watched all their videos until I got up to their current point, basically, and since then, almost every single day, unless if I go snowboarding, I watch it, and usually when I come back home, I still watch it, but yeah, I watch their videos every single day. Braille Skateboarding, you guys rock.
I'll have to do, when I go through this, I'll try to make sure I get all the links to different things, or at least the names of the people, so we can promote other people, because with this podcast that we're doing here, it's more about finding interesting people, kind of putting the word out there of new cool things. I know there's lots of podcasts that do that, and there's lots of vloggers and stuff that do that. Well, we're gonna do it too.
Yeah, well, you know, really, YouTube has becoming like a lot of, like, even the gaming channels I watch, a lot of them cross promote each other's gaming
100%.
channels, because they're turning YouTube into a larger community, which is fantastic, because Facebook's out the door for being a decent community. Like, it truly is.
I know. I use Facebook just in the sense that all of my Instagram posts go to Facebook. And I know there's like a lot of my older family members and stuff use Facebook, and they follow me on there rather than Instagram. So it's, you know, it has its uses, but hopefully they try and fix some things. I think that they are somewhat, like, I've seen some changes lately, but it's still hard to change humans.
Exactly.
People, it's just Facebook itself, not necessarily evil, it's the people who use it.
Yeah, well, it's just amalgamated into a bunch of, it's amalgamated basically into a gigantic crowd of people who all have megaphones.
And
it's just so much noise.
Yeah, and that's why I like, even though Instagram's owned by Facebook, I think the personality types that are drawn to Instagram, there's, you know, the super kind of fake, phony type of people, but at the same time, there's actually a lot of cool things on Instagram, and I like the pictures. Like, I try to follow a lot of up and coming artists. I don't follow like the big artists. They
already have 8 million subscribers and followers and stuff.
And it's like, if I'm going to eventually see it, right? And so it's like, I want to see the stuff that nobody's seen before, and I follow some really cool people. I'll post their stuff in the description as well, and I'm going to start doing that more so on Instagram too. I've been thinking about it. It's just like, how do I want to do it? I think what I'm going to do is like a weekly, like, feature. Just like somebody that I've been following for a while, and post a couple of their things in my Instagram story, and just do shout out for that. I might do that tonight, maybe, because it's Sunday, so I might do Sunday night shout outs or something like that. To some cool artists that I've been following. I haven't even met these people, but I've had some people for like 5-6 years now.
Really?
Or more. Like, I've been on Instagram since 2011.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. It's been a long time that it's been there. So it's like, I have friendships with people that I've never met, and on the other side of the planet, or in the States or something like that.
Right.
And they continue to inspire me all the time, and they send me messages, and I check out their artwork, and they check out mine, and it's great. Like, having that community, like you're saying, YouTube, and I want to get more into the YouTube thing, because I feel like it's something I've missed out on for the past while. You know, fear. You know, you get afraid of, like, putting yourself out there like this.
Man, putting your face out there is a huge thing.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Like,
because look at this. Look at this mess.
Yeah. We have horrible lighting in here, too, right now. All our
I know, we just look so...
We're just... Our eyes are just sunken in. We're possessed.
Okay, do it. Don't try doing that voice. Oh. Oh, speaking of YouTube,
how does that feel, baby?
Yeah, you know who's great? Good Mythical Morning. You ever watch Good
I
Mythical
have
Morning?
not.
Okay, they're huge. They've been doing it for a long time, and this is my way of trying to get them to notice us. Good Mythical Morning, Rhett and Link, they're super funny. Like they do bits like Will It Taco, and then they'll just like make a bunch of different kinds of tacos, like out of weird things that you'd never make tacos out of, and then they eat it.
That sounds delicious.
Like bugs and stuff.
That sounds delicious.
Anyway, they're great too. But like doing things like that, super inspiring because they've been doing it for I don't even know how many years, but they do it every day. Wow, every morning they do like their morning talk show.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah, and we're sitting here just getting to the number one. Although we did a few before.
Yeah, I did 3 with you before.
Right, and I've done a podcast years ago that was more movie oriented, and it was just audio rather than video.
Mm-hmm.
And we did 22 episodes of that. Even a live one. We did a live recording, which bombed so bad. But it was great. It was a great experience. You know, it made me want to do more, even though it was like a horrible, horrible failure. It just made me feel so good. Because when you're doing comedy, one of the things I want to strive for, and I accomplished it pretty close when we did that and failed, is that when you get up and do stand-up comedy, most of the time you'll even get like a pity laugh, right?
Yeah.
Or like, you know, a groan or something like that. I don't want that. I want to get up there and I want to say something so bad, not necessarily offensive, but something so bad that it's just silence.
Just crickets.
Like they don't even want to give you pity. Like that's how bad I want to bomb. I just find that more of a challenge. Like, can you think of something so groan-worthy that people just like quit? They just quit everything and they just stop existing for a moment because they hate you so much in that moment.
Somebody just vomits.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate like dad joke kind of thing where it's like they just don't even acknowledge that they've been there. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Just silence, dead silence. That is what I'm aiming for.
That's really hard to do.
It is hard
because you know there's so much variation in what people find funny.
Right. Yeah, you have to find the one thing that just connects everybody to the point where it's like so. I don't even know if it'd be bad. It would just be something that's like so neutral that no one would even care to acknowledge it.
So unfunny.
Yeah.
That it's funny to you.
Right. Because like you see the movie Joker, the new movie Joker. You know how he gets up there and he tells those bad jokes and they start laughing at him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's still getting laughs.
Right.
Can you get up there and tell something so bad that it's just like silence? Like they don't even want to laugh at you.
Yeah.
Like they're almost sad. Like you make them sad. I saw this video of a guy, comedian, and he was trying to do this joke about messed up families.
Oh.
And he was just like, okay, everybody's got something messed up in their family or whatever, and it's just like, anybody here have a messed up family? Like, yeah, and this girl in the front was like, yeah, I do. And he's like, okay, well, what's so messed up about your family? And she's like, I don't think so. And he's like, no, come on, just tell us. And it's like, her dad caught her mom cheating and murdered her. And he was like, oh. And so it just kind of like, you know, it's like you can't,
dead stop.
Like, what are the chances of that person being there for that joke? And it's just like, I think even then they got groans and laughs.
Yeah.
And so it's like, how do you find something that just really cuts through all of that?
A joke about kicking a dog.
No, because you'll still get a reaction.
Oh yeah, people will gasp or something.
Yeah, you have to.
You're right.
It's just like, you just have to shut people down. Like they just, okay, I'm done. I'm done thinking we're existing for tonight.
Oh, yeah. Not that I condone kicking dogs.
No, of course not.
No.
When it comes to comedy,
Cats.
Oh
God. See, more people would laugh at that than about a dog because people love dogs more than they love cats.
Well, I don't know, man. Cats are their own thing. I love
aliens.
Cats. I love cats.
I like cats too. I don't like indoor cats though.
You don't like indoor cats?
No, I don't like. All cats want to be outside. So if they're an indoor cat, they're just a piece of shit.
That's what I find interesting about cats. They're just their own thing. They know way more than we know they know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If that makes sense.
Oh, I know.
Like if you spend any amount of time with a cat, just you and that cat, it learns you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it has this like psychic capabilities of like it can understand what you're thinking, and it'll do the exact opposite to piss you off.
Yes, I know. Well, and that's what I mean. Like indoor cats, they will purposely piss you off because they don't want to be an inside cat.
Yeah, and all they're really thinking is, if I was bigger, I would just eat you.
Yeah.
Every cat would eat you, regardless of how much they love you.
Well,
They're just too small, and they know it.
Yeah.
If they were bigger, they'd just be like a lion or a tiger, and they would just destroy you.
Yeah. No, exactly. And that's like one of the most interesting facts about felines as a generality is they're one of the most strict carnivores on the planet.
Right.
And you know how many vegans own cats?
And you know what? That makes them legendary.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, look, we're at 45 minutes.
Man, we could talk about everything.
Apparently. Well,
that was about heroes.
Yeah. We got a little off track, but I was expecting that a little bit.
Every time.
But I think that was a good first episode. Congratulations to whoever made it to the end.
Yes.
I don't even know if I will, but I have to edit it.
I will. Actually, every single podcast we ever did, I watched the entirety of it. I watched a lot of your other ones too. Not all of them, but
I would skim them. I remember most of them. Like,
yeah, so true. When you were there,
I've listened to ones like a long time after. I wait a while before I go back to them.
Yeah.
But this one I'll listen to because I want to make sure I get as many of those shout outs and stuff in there as I can in the description.
Bob Burnquist, Tony Hawk, Braille skateboarding.
Marty McFly. Shout out to Marty McFly.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What was some of the other channels that we talked about? Gallardist,
yeah.
CreativiSteve.
Yep, of course. That's what this will be on.
Yeah.
But we'll share it around.
Yeah.
And
we'll do the rounds.
Yeah, we'll do the
Evil
rounds.
Eyes.
We'll do the rounds. Yeah. So that's episode number 1 of CreativiSteve and the Gallardist.
Yes. Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys don't know, a Gallard is an educated buffoon.
Oh yeah, that's probably something we should have told people from the beginning. Oh well.
That's where the name comes from.
Yeah.
It's not just hither-dather, jibber-jabber. It's actually a Old English term. To be a Gallard is an educated buffoon, which as soon as I heard that term, I was like, that's me.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
So, we've learned something. We've shared some tears. We've shared some laughs.
Mm-hmm.
Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more.
Yeah.
And check out CreativiSteve on Instagram, Facebook, and medium.com with the blog too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then check out at Gallardist. I would spell it, but
it'll be in the link.
It'll be in the link. And then I am Colton Jobst as well, personally. Most interesting thing enough, actually, is I joined Instagram with my real name, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
I am so... Thank you to my mom and dad. My dad actually...
Nobody has that name.
Nobody in nobody on Instagram has the name Colton Jobst, apparently. Out of all the years of Instagram...
You're the only one.
I'm the only one.
One and only.
Yeah, it was the same with my Gmail, too. I remember when I went to school and they're like, oh, put a Gmail account. Try your first name, or try your name. It never worked.
I had to use it, too. I was the second person.
Oh, man.
Some business guy from, Virginia had the first one. I was like, damn you.
There could be only one!
All right. See you guys later.